Stealth games are the best, but they're definitely for a very particular type of player sometimes. Hey, you love sneaking around? So do we. So here are 10 things only stealth game players will understand. Starting off at number 10, every stealth game player knows that feeling of carefully taking your time through a level, flawlessly creeping around and avoiding everything and progressing until you make one stupid mistake, end up tripping the alarm and being like, fuck it, and then just blow everyone away. And sometimes it gets you killed because there are too many enemies, but whatever, you're gonna restart anyway, right? You're one of either two types of players. Either you immediately run up and start whacking an enemy because you know you're screwed anyway, or you very frustratedly pause the game and restart from the last checkpoint. If it's a hard game, you could probably do that with your eyes closed by now because you're probably used to it. But next at number 9, you know, sometimes when stealth is only recommended, not required, you just want to go in guns blazing. Hey, look, everyone needs a break from tense, white-knuckle stealth action sometimes. It's hard holding your breath and playing carefully for hours on end, meticulously. You need a break. You're gonna have a heart attack. If stealth is, and I quote, recommended, you know you've taken that as a reason to lighten up once in a while. Blow the door down and make a grand violent entrance. Do your thing, man. Sure, it might affect your score in the end, but why have weapons if you're not gonna use them at least sometimes, right? Better to get some practice in so that when the time comes in the game, when you're actually forced into combat, you will know what you're doing and you won't get caught with your pants down. See, I'm just thinking practically here. I'm not just satisfying my bloodlust. It's a game. It's meant to be played, right? But at number 8, you've probably gotten stuck playing a stealth game cooperatively with someone else who just isn't as sneaky as you. You've been there, you've probably taken your time slowly creeping around. Meanwhile, the person you're stuck playing with might be a little more careless and knock something over or make a sound and screw you both over. That's the tricky thing about stealth co-op. The mistake of one will often cost the lives of both, and you probably take it really seriously. I know I do. Hey, I hate to say it, but this is why I often play alone, especially stealth games. If you think about it, most of the original stealth games and the concept was designed around solo play. But still, it is fun with friends. I will say, if you do have someone that takes sneaking co-op as seriously as you do, cherish that person. That friend or random person isn't always easy to find. And if you're playing stealth co-op, you know you gotta have someone you completely trust 100%. But at number 7, at one point we've all had to embrace the fact that sometimes the stealth isn't the most realistic in games. It's about the gameplay, it's about the journey, man. You know, yeah, Assassin's Creed games are definitely infamous for this. Or something like Horizon, you know, where you hide in a bush and it really looks like you're clearly visible in that bush even though someone is staring right at it and they don't react. Not only that, back to Assassin's Creed, turning a corner and hiding on a bench, is that really always gonna work in real life? It probably wouldn't. But again, like I said, it's a game. You have to suspend your disbelief and just have a little bit of fun. Hey, as long as you still feel like you're sneaking, right? Because at number 6, that feeling when you realize that stealth games don't necessarily mean they need to be played slowly, that's when you will reach nirvana. There are some stealth games that are designed around or complement playing quick and quiet. The Dishonored games are perfect for quietly zipping around the map super fast, taking out guys one by one totally unnoticed. That's the mark of a truly good stealth player. When you can not only sneak around a level successfully undetected, but to do it at a rapid pace shows you really know the game's systems and the ins and outs of a level. That's mastery right there, and I'll commend you. But next at number 5, maybe you take the approach where nobody will notice what you've done, if there's nobody around to notice it. A perfect scenario means you just avoid areas where people are and get by unnoticed, but how often does that really happen? Let's be real. By me saying nobody around to notice it, I'm really talking about just killing everyone in a room. Then you have no witnesses and it's a perfect crime, right? Hey, we all have our sloppy days, it happens. But at number 4, you know you've got a stealth game figured out when you can bend the guards' intelligence to your will. You know, some games may just have stupid or buggy artificial intelligence, but when you've been playing a stealth game long enough to know how to use it to your advantage, that's when things get good. Any game that gives you the opportunity to trick them into a trap or hurting themselves and maybe even others, that makes it that much more satisfying, you know? Hitman does this especially well. That feeling of being the smartest person in a room, Sometimes it's the other stupider simple things like using sound to startle a guard and just have him fall to his death instead of actually investigating. Stuff like that, it's just the little things sometimes. Coming down to number 3 though, stealth gamers definitely know the feel of pulling something off that makes you feel really damn smart. Some of the best stealth games are the ones that allow you to plan and give you the right opportunities to use every single tool you have at your disposal, be it traps or distractions or whatever. Executing that plan and nailing everything flawlessly is always so satisfying. Sorry if I sound kind of weird about some of this stuff, but I just like stealth games. I hope you guys get me here. Because coming down to number 2, if you play stealth games, you definitely know most of the time there's not just one way of playing stealth. Maybe you have the option to play lethally or non-lethally, or go completely ghost and not touch anyone at all for more of a hardcore challenge. Then there's also the RPGs that allow you to have, say, your own certain build to stealth, like completely sneaky but weak, or maybe sneaky but strong enough to knock someone out quickly. Think of something like Skyrim, where you can have an archer that you can just be sneaky, of course, but you can also complement it with different abilities like maybe embracing magic or conjuration for distraction, or light armor mastery. Basically what I'm getting at is that games with good stealth have more than one way to do said stealth, and that's awesome. You know, I brought up an RPG as an example, and they definitely work well systems-wise, but sometimes just a good old straight-up corridor stealth game, the level design is the best when it gives you different ways to approach a situation. As more and more games become open world, I feel like we see that less and less. Open world stealth is fine, it's very well designed when it's pulled off, but sometimes I just like those classic stealth levels, you know? But hey, that's just me. Let's come down to number 1. This is one I know we all feel. If you play a lot of stealth games, sometimes you just can't help but think differently when you play other games. It may be a more traditional third-person action game, or maybe a first-person shooter, but you still can't help but sneak around to your advantage, even if the game isn't a stealth game, or maybe it doesn't actually have any stealth mechanics in it. Or maybe you hop into RPGs and always opt for a stealth build character. Look, I definitely feel you. Sometimes we just can't help but be sneaky. If you're hooked on these types of games, that playstyle might actually translate over to other games sometimes. Some people might see you playing and thinking you're playing like a coward. Maybe you're not playing as aggressively as other people would more typically play the game, but hey, you're playing it like a stealth gamer, so what are you gonna do? That's just us though. That's some things that we thought stealth game players would understand. We definitely want to hear from you guys down in the comments. If you are a fan of these types of games, what are some things very specific to this genre that you absolutely love? What quirks of gameplay in stealth games do you think that we would understand? We're really looking forward to hearing from you guys down in the comments, so let us know. Let's talk. If you guys enjoyed this video though, clicking the like button does help us out. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you should, because we put out videos every single day and you probably would enjoy them. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.